It is 1:30 in the morning on February 20th. Second night in a row just sitting in a room by myself late at night. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's not like I choose to be alone all the time. I had 4 classes today. Went back to my room, took a nap, got dinner, hung out with some friends, went to hockey practice, came back to my room at 10 and needed to go do work, so I went to the classroom. But when I'm in here by myself, it feels better than being out in college and doing things sometimes. I've talked about the importance of being alone more in the context of needing to take yourself away from a situation to calm down, to recuperate, to de-stress. But I feel at some points I am just alone because I maybe don't feel like I'm able to do the things that I want to do. I think it's still the roommates are to blame, because I don't feel comfortable being in a space of my own. And when I have time off and I'm in my room, it's not time off, because I have to bend my schedule and my habits around them, because they are so immature and entitled themselves that they think that they are the ones who dictate what happens in the room when I'm also there. So I feel the need to come to another room and do what I want to do. But it worries me sometimes. It's not like I'm going to a classroom alone every day after school. The only times that I do this are later at night when I just have work I want to do. And I put on a show, listen to music or something, and do work. Just what worries me sometimes is that I feel the need to stay up this late. Even though I know that the next day will be so bad because I didn't get enough sleep. My mental health will take a turn because all I do is work, stay up late, and then go to class. And that cycle is not mentally good just because of the lack of sleep and the lack of sleep. But this is important to me. For some reason, I feel that I need to come to a classroom at night, that I am missing something throughout my day, that I need to be in a room, in a classroom by myself, doing work and watching a show until incredibly late at night. Like, I don't really know what to say about it. Like, I've talked about staying up late, avoiding my roommates, watching shows, binging them. But this is a pattern. Like, I do this on the regular. When last year I had same issues with my roommates, more so that he stayed in the room all the time and never talked to me. And so I did the same thing. I stayed up late, came back. I would go to practice, go do homework in the library until 1 or 2 in the morning every single night. first semester, I did the same thing. And I want to understand why I do it. Because am I doing it because I feel like I'm missing something throughout my day and that I have to take back what is mine and feel like I'm in control? Am I going throughout the day and not liking what I do and come to a room for hours on end at the middle of the night just so I can do something I enjoy? Is it because I just want to be alone? Is it because I'm unhappy? I don't understand it. Like, I'm not saying any of those are true, but like, it feels odd that I'm doing something that is so damaging to my mental health and my sleep and my physical health because it makes me feel better and more comfortable and more calm and like makes, I don't know, that I choose to do this over getting sleep. And like, I don't want to say, like, throughout the day, on a normal day, I don't go and do this until late in the night when everybody else has gone to bed. But it's just the fact that I've talked about how sleep is so important to me, that I regularly get 12 hours on the weekend, that I can sleep for 14 hours, that I require a lot more sleep than more people. Yet I am actively choosing not to sleep, even though it's probably one of my favorite things is to go to bed and just relax. And I've known I've talked about it before, but to me, I really think it's the roommates. And I think it may be any roommate. And I want to clarify what I mean by roommates, because I think that when people hear roommates, they think of somebody living with them in an apartment. But I say roommates, I say in the same room. Think about your bedroom with two other people. Think about a dorm room, like a dorm room. A room way too small for two people to live in suitably, that actually probably would be some fire hazard and health code violations because the school keeps over-enrolling and decides that they want to get more students in here and then say, well, we don't have enough space, so you're going to have to suffer even though you have no reason and we're just making you suffer. And I'm saying this because last year I was very fortunate that my roommate transferred out and I did not get another roommate for the entirety of the spring semester. And I didn't do this during the spring. I wouldn't stay up till 2 a.m. in a classroom on the opposite side of campus because I need a semblance of quiet, a semblance of peace. I would just be in my room. I would do work. I would maybe, I have this schedule where I would do classes, come back to my room, maybe relax for an hour. Then I would go do homework. Eat dinner at 7:30 or 5. I would actually eat dinner at 5, go do homework for a bit, go to the gym and come back to my room and relax for the rest of the night. And that was my schedule. And I never stayed up late other than times that I needed to do some extra studying and I needed a whiteboard. So I really think it's the roommates and just living with somebody else that makes me be unhappy. And it's not that I want to not live with people. When I was in boarding school, my 2 of my 3 best friends were my neighbors. The third one was on the first floor, or the second floor, and I was on the 4th floor. And I loved that. I loved being having my own room, but then being able to walk out, go across the hall, and then lay on my friend's bed and do homework or play video games or take a movie night. I love being in a space where I have my friends nearby, but I need my own room. And I think that's it. And what's the most frustrating thing about it is that I cannot control this factor. There is nothing that I can do because it's all up to the school. Maybe if I had my best friends, my hockey teammates, in my room, instead of these two absolute idiots and horrid people, then maybe it would not be as bad. But I don't. I have two disgusting people in my room. They make the room dirty. They track road salt onto the carpet that's shared in the space. They leave trash everywhere. They smoke in the room. They light a candle on their bedside table where my sheets are. That if one misstep in the middle of the night or in the time that I was taking a nap and he decides to light a candle, would light my sheets on fire. I have a computer that was worth at least $2,500 that I spent all my money on. And if he sets off the smoke alarm because he's ripping a bong or lighting a candle and destroys my stuff, I don't think I will. I cleaned the room a while back. And it was disgusting how bad his side of the room was. There's a difference between being, it's a little bit dirty, things are kind of strewn around, and having 3 open Celsiuses. Opening a drawer and seeing an open bag of chocolate chip cookies. Opening another drawer and seeing an entire plate covered in melted chocolate with a paper towel just over the top, sitting in your drawer. That's how you get infestations of bugs in rooms. Did you get so high that you got the munchies that you decided that you needed to have a plate of chocolate and forgot about it and then was like, okay, I'm just going to put it into a drawer and leave it? That's how you get bugs. There is no common sense in this guy's feeble little brain. He ruins my sleep schedule. Both of them ruin my sleep schedule. The only time that I was late to class was the day out of the week that I had a quiz in the morning. I had a total of 20 hours of sleep. I'm not exaggerating, 20 hours over 6 days. How? Do you have any common sense to not be up until 4 a.m. on your computer with your screen light changing so I can see it through my eyelids because you don't have a class tomorrow, but I have a class at 9 a.m. every single day? Why do you get to wake up at 9 a.m. on the one day that I have a sleep in and decide, you know what, I'm going to crack open a Celsius and I just hear at 9 a.m., slamming the door, doing your laundry at 6 a.m. They are horrible. And I feel like I'm being punished in this scenario. Because there is nothing I can do. I try to be polite, courteous, clean. I try to understand that and figure out their schedules so I don't wake them up when I don't need them to be woken up. When they don't need to be woken up. I was probably in one of the worst mental states I have ever been in. And at the end of the semester last year, I had 2 weeks of school. I did not hit the gym once. I did not play video games once. In 2 weeks. That's a big deal for me because going to the gym and playing video games is how I de-stress. And if they get to be horrid people to me, I feel like I should be horrible people to them, but I know I shouldn't. When I get up in the morning and they're still asleep, I'm quiet. When I come home late because this is the only semblance of peace I get in throughout the day, I come home and I'm quiet. I keep my room clean. I never leave food in my garbage bin because I know that's where bugs come from. I never do anything that could damage other people's things. There's only one time that I know that I was being slightly rude, and I was playing video games, and I agree, probably a little bit too late in the night. But it was on a Friday night, one of the days that I can stay up and do whatever I want because I don't have class tomorrow. He goes to bed at 10:30. That is just inconsiderate. Like, I go into my room and I'm like, I'm going to play some video games with my friends. And I get in there and both of them are asleep at 9:30 on a Saturday night. I'm like, what is going on? And I don't want to wake them up because I am a nice person. And I understand that sleep and respecting people is a good thing to do. Like, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to stoop to their levels. But I am getting so sick of having to come to a classroom because I know that when I come home from practice and I still have homework to do, I have a quiz tomorrow that I've been studying. I have math that I've been doing. I've been doing algebra. And because I can't do homework there because he'll go over, turn off the lights at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and go to bed. Like, sure, that you can do. But do you understand what it means for other people? If I recognize that somebody is doing work, would it be common sense to go, all right, I'm going to go to bed and make them feel guilty about staying up? Maybe they don't care, but you got to communicate that. If you don't care that something is going on, then be like, just say, hey, I know that you're going to stay up a little bit later. Just so you know, I'm just going to go to bed. I have something eye thing that I wear, so it won't bother me if they're still doing work, so don't you worry. But he doesn't. And the one time that I did stay up, he complained about it. So he does care. And so he chooses to put his priority over mine and be selfish about it. Because maybe I come home at 10:30 after practice. I'm like, I really don't want to go across campus to do work. I'm just going to do my my Japanese homework in my room. And then I'm doing work and I'm obviously writing things. He goes, turn off the lights. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Why? Can you not see that I'm doing something? Can you not see that I need the light to work? And it's the lack of common sense and courtesy that baffles me. He is a junior. He's 20 to 21. How have you lived 3 years of college and not understand that you need to keep your room clean? That you need to respect other people. You need to make sure that you put others' comfort over yourself sometimes. That you shouldn't be selfish in a shared space. Like, how do you not recognize that? And so I have to come here and ruin my sleep schedule, my mental health, my physical well-being, keep myself stressed because I can't be in my room and do the work I need to do because they are there and they do not leave and they believe that they are the important person in the room. And maybe people hearing this will say, well, I bet that you do some things. And I agree. I probably do some things that they get annoyed. They probably get annoyed that I come home so late. But then I would rebuke and say, well, the reason I'm coming home so late is because I want to be away from you. And the only time I can be away from them is late at night. Because when I go to school, I hang out with people all the time. I come back to my room at 2 o'clock after I finish all my classes. And they're there. I come off because I need to get something for my room between classes. They're there. They don't seem to go to class. And I get pretty good guess of their schedule. And I 100% know that they probably go to about 2 of the 3 classes per week. They totally skip one. And that is just so not, fair. And the thing that pisses me off the most is that one of them I know does not have class until 10 o'clock. I know, because every single time that I wake up and go, he is still asleep. And I go at the last possible minute because I value my sleep. He sets his alarm for 8 o'clock, and then 8:30, and then 9 o'clock, and then 10:30. And I know that he does it by these increments because I will be asleep. And then I hear his alarm at 8 o'clock. 45 minutes before I get out of bed. Then I hear it at 8:30. And then on the days that I come back from class, like tomorrow, I'll come back from class. He'll be still in bed. Then I'll hear 9 o'clock. Then I'll hear 9:30. I hear 10. I hear 10:30. I hear 10:45. How is this man in college and doesn't understand that an alarm is meant to wake you up and get out of bed? Not be wake you up, go back to sleep. Does he not understand that when you hear a loud noise, then that means that it wakes people up? Oh my gosh, that's what an alarm is. So why is he waking up 2 hours before he needs to and makes me lose an hour of sleep every single day? They drive me insane. And that's why I come to this room. Because I need some peace. I need the ability to not wear my AirPods and be around my room. I need the ability to not try and be as quiet as I want to, as possible, to not disturb them. I want to be able to do things without judgment, but I can't do that unless I'm alone. I can't do that in my room because they're there. I can't do that in my room because they go to bed too early. I can't do that because their needs are above mine. They're so, selfish. I can't deal with it. I hate them. It's not an understatement. They have made this year more stressful, more tiring than any other semester of any schooling that I've done. And it is their fault. People may say that you could just go to bed earlier. You could do homework earlier. That part I actually would rebuttal and say I actually just have too much homework and I need to stay up later than I normally do. But people will say that you can just go to bed earlier. And I just can't. I've said it before and I'll say it again. My mental health rides on being alone for some amount of the day and watching a show and not feeling somebody over my shoulder looking at what I'm doing. Not having me think about what other people are feeling about the scenario and catering my actions to their comforts. I need to be in a space where I can just be me and feel like it's okay to just be me. And so I have to come to a room late at night. Because if I have just a little bit of work, I can't do it in my room at night because they're there and asleep. And out of respect, I come to another spot. But then I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to my room. That's a sad statement. I've talked with a bunch of other people about this. A bunch of my other friends, other teammates. And I'm like, how do I get out of it? And then you just have to apply. I applied, got no response from the school. I've done every action that I could to try and remedy this. I've cleaned for them. I've tried to go to bed earlier, but I can't. I have too much work. I can't do anything about this except just accept the fact that this happens. But that doesn't mean that I can't be angry. That doesn't mean that I can't complain about that. And I know I've been talking for way too long, but this has probably been a good 4 months in the making. I haven't really had a good opportunity to just outright complain and talk about every little grievance that they have. And I know that this one's not good content. But as I said before, this is supposed to just be about my 2025. And if today is just me so angry that I need to vent, then so be it. I don't want to be mad at them because I feel bad about being mad at them. Because at their hearts, they are nice people. If they weren't my roommates, and I did not have to live with them, would I have been friends with them? Probably not. But would I have thought of them as nice people and genuine people? Yes. But I can't see past that anymore. Because when they ruin my mental health because they don't want to think about other people's needs, then they are not nice people anymore.